artificial intelligence, I mean, it's
Oh,
everywhere now, isn't it?
pretty much unavoidable.
Yeah, it's weaving into everything we do, everyday stuff,
Yeah.
big innovations. It's really shaking things up.
Across all sorts of industries, yeah. Changing how we work, how we live.
Totally. Okay, so let's unpack this because today we're doing a deep dive into something pretty significant,
Mm-hmm.
a new White House initiative. It's all about AI education for young people in the U.S.
Yeah. The source we're looking at is a presidential action called Advancing Artificial Intelligence Education for American Youth.
Right. And what's really striking is that this shows recognition, right from the top, that AI isn't some far-off thing.
Exactly. It's here now. This isn't theoretical. It's a
Yeah.
direct response to how fast AI is becoming, well, normal, part of our daily lives, the
Right.
economy.
Precisely. And our mission for you today, listening in, is to really help you get your head around this whole initiative.
What's it trying to do?
Yeah, what are the main goals, the
Yeah.
strategies they're planning, and what's this new framework look like for boosting AI skills and just general understanding?
Right across the board from K-12 through to, well, forever learning, really.
Exactly. We want to give you a clear picture of the government's game plan here for this huge tech shift and, what it might actually mean for the future of work.
So where do we start? The why behind it all.
Yeah, what's driving this?
Well, the document itself jumps right into that. The core reason. It's about the U.S. staying competitive globally.
Okay, leadership.
Yeah, the first lines basically say it. To ensure the United States remains a global leader in this technological revolution. They clearly see AI as, like, a key area for innovation and, well, competition.
Right, staying ahead.
Yeah.
But it's more than just a tech race, isn't it? Sounds like the vision is bigger than that.
Oh, definitely. It's about getting students ready to not just cope, but actually thrive in a digital society. The idea is to nurture the next wave of AI innovators, the ones who will drive scientific discovery and economic growth. So it's kind of twofold. Broad understanding for everyone, plus developing that high-level talent.
And they're really pushing for kids to get exposed early, aren't they? Starting young.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like trying to build in an intuition about it from the start. Do you think that could change how future generations relate to tech? Like more creators, not just users.
That's a really interesting angle. And yes, the document does stress early exposure. The goal is to demystify AI early on, spark curiosity, get them thinking creatively.
Make it less scary, maybe?
Yeah, perhaps. And that early grounding is seen as just fundamental for preparing students for whatever jobs come next. It's about building that basic understanding.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
If AI is going to be so embedded, knowing the basics becomes like, well, the new digital literacy.
Exactly.
And it's not just the students getting the focus, right? Educators are a big piece too.
Oh, absolutely. The initiative gets that you can't have AI-savvy students without teachers who are also equipped.
Right. You need the teachers on board.
Totally. So there's a real commitment to investing in teacher training. Not just teaching about AI, but also how to use AI effectively in the classroom.
Ah, interesting. So AI is a tool for teaching too.
Yeah, to improve learning across different subjects.
And what about people already working? Folks who need to skill up as AI keeps changing things.
They haven't forgotten them. The document specifically talks about needing lifelong learning resources
Good.
because the workforce is going to keep changing fast because of AI. So ways for people to keep learning and adapting are seen as, well, essential.
Okay, so that's the why. Leadership, early student exposure, supporting teachers, lifelong learning. Makes sense. So what's the actual core policy designed to make this happen?
The central policy is stated pretty clearly. It's about promoting AI literacy and proficiency among Americans.
Literacy and proficiency. Got it.
And they plan to do this through three main ways. First, getting AI integrated appropriately into education at all levels.
Okay.
Second, giving comprehensive AI training to educators so they feel confident.
Makes sense.
And third, fostering that early exposure to AI ideas and tech to get kids interested from the start.
And the big goal behind all that.
The big goal, they say it again, is developing an AI-ready workforce and nurturing those next generation of American AI innovators.
Right. So when they talk about artificial intelligence here, is there a specific definition they're working with?
Yes, they actually reference one. The order says artificial intelligence, or AI, means what's defined in 15 U.S.C. 94013.
Yeah, a legal definition.
Exactly. They don't spell out the whole legal definition in this order, but it's important they're anchoring it in existing law, not just a fuzzy concept.
Good to know. Now, a big part of the plan is setting up a new task force, right? to kind of drive this.
Precisely. They're establishing the White House Task Force on Artificial Intelligence Education. Let's just call it the task force. And that's a big step. It means a formal, coordinated effort across the government on AI education.
And who's heading this up? Sounds like an important job.
The director of the Office of Science and Technology Policy, OSTP, will be the chair.
Okay. Science and tech focus there.
Right. Putting it in OSTP really signals the importance of scientific and tech expertise in guiding all this.
And it's not just one person running the show. Who else is on it?
No, it's quite a wide group, which makes sense because AI and education touch so many areas.
Right.
You've got the Secretaries of Agriculture, Labor, Energy, Education, the Director of the National Science Foundation, the NSF.
Wow, okay. Heavy hitters.
Yeah, and also key White House advisors domestic policy, the special advisor for AI and crypto, assistant to the president for policy.
So policy people too.
And the chair can bring in heads of other relevant agencies if needed. That kind of cross-government collaboration is pretty crucial for something this broad.
Definitely sounds like they're pulling in expertise from all the right places. So this task force, their job is basically to take this policy and make it real.
Exactly. Their main responsibility is implementing that policy we just discussed and coordinating all the federal stuff related to AI education, including all the actions this order lays out. They're the engine driving it forward.
Gotcha. Now, another thing that caught my eye was this presidential AI challenge. Sounds like a cool way to get people involved.
Yeah.
I can just imagine, students using AI for local environmental projects or accessibility tools. Could be really neat.
It could. The task force has 90 days to develop the plans for it, and it should be launched within a year.
Pretty quick timeline.
Yeah. The main idea is to encourage and, shine spotlight on cool AI stuff being done by students and educators.
Showcase success.
Exactly. And also push adoption across different parts of the country, get different groups, government, universities, nonprofits, industry working together using AI to tackle, big national problems.
So it's not just learning about AI, it's doing things with AI, solving actual problems. What's the structure going to look like?
The plan is for different age categories, so everyone from K-12 up can potentially participate.
Okay.
Also distinct geographic regions to get participation from all over, and different themes.
Themes, like what?
Well, they want the themes to show the wide range of AI applications, encourage exploring it across different subjects, not just pure tech.
That sounds like it could spark some really creative ideas. And it's not just the government running this.
No, the task force will work with government agencies, obviously, but also actively look for partners in the private sector.
Industry involvement.
Yeah, bring in technical know-how, resources, maybe help promote the challenge. Could even involve using existing funding streams to support it.
Okay, so we have the task force coordinating, the challenge sparking innovation. What about the nuts and bolts of getting AI into schools? Improving education through AI.
Right. This is where those public-private partnerships really come in. The initiative tells the agencies on the task force to actively seek out collaborations with AI industry leaders, universities, nonprofits, basically anyone with real expertise in AI and computer science education.
To do what exactly?
The main goal is to jointly create online resources, specifically for K-12 students, focusing on foundational AI literacy and critical thinking skills.
Makes sense. Pool the knowledge and the resources, and they want these resources out fast.
Seems like it. The task force is supposed to announce these partnerships as they happen, kind of on a rolling basis, and they're aiming for these resources to be ready for classroom use within 180 days, 6 months of the first partnership announcement.
Wow, that's ambitious. Shows it's a priority.
Definitely.
And besides these new partnerships, are they looking at existing government resources too?
Yes. Within 90 days, the task force has to identify federal AI resources that agencies can tap into.
Like what?
They specifically call out the National AI Research Institutes, the ones funded by NSF and the Department of Ag. The idea is these could support partnerships with state and local school districts, building on AI ed efforts already happening.
Okay, so leveraging what's already there. What about guidance for schools on using their own money for AI stuff?
That's a key role for the Secretary of Education. Within 90 days, they need to issue guidance on how schools can use existing grant funds formula and discretionary to boost education using AI.
So helping schools know what's allowed.
Exactly. Things like AI-based teaching materials, maybe AI-powered tutoring programs, tools to help kids explore college and career options.
That could really help schools figure out where to put their resources.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're also thinking about how AI can improve teaching itself.
Yes, that's in there too. Same 90-day window. The Secretary of Education will also look at how existing research programs can support state and local efforts using AI to improve student achievement, graduation rates, even student mobility.
Okay, so a really multi-pronged approach to getting AI into education and making education better with it.
Yeah.
Now let's shift to the educators. How are they planning to boost teacher training on AI?
Yeah, another absolutely critical piece. Within 120 days, the Secretary of Education needs to prioritize AI in teacher training grants.
Under which programs?
Both the Elementary and Secondary Education Act and the Higher Education Act, so K-12 and higher ed prep.
And prioritize how? What will the grants focus on?
A few things. Using AI to cut down on teachers' administrative tasks, freeing up time.
That would be popular.
I bet. Also improving teacher training and evaluation, providing professional development on AI fundamentals that teachers can use across all subjects, not just tech.
Right, basic AI literacy for all teachers.
And then also specialized training for those who will be teaching specific computer science and AI courses.
Okay, so it's not just for the CS teachers, it's broader. What about the National Science Foundation, NSF? What's their role in teacher training?
NSF also has 120 days. They need to prioritize research on using AI in education and use their existing programs to create teacher training opportunities.
Focused on what?
Focused on how educators can effectively integrate AI tools and teaching methods into their actual classrooms, probably focusing on research-backed approaches.
Okay. And I saw the Department of Agriculture mentioned again for training. Seems surprising.
It does at first, but it shows how broad AI's reach is. Also, within 120 days, the Secretary of Ag will prioritize AI research, extension, and education through their channels.
Like 4-H.
Exactly. They mentioned 4-H and the cooperative extension system. And they'll also use existing programs to create training for teachers and educators on integrating AI tools into curricula. Think agriculture tech, data analysis, and farming. It fits.
Fascinating to see so many different agencies involved. Okay, the initiative also mentions promoting registered apprenticeships.
Yeah.
How does that connect to AI, education, and jobs?
This is squarely focused on workforce development, creating clear paths into AI-related jobs.
Right.
The Secretary of Labor has 120 days to focus on getting more people into AI-related registered apprenticeships.
More on-the-job training for AI roles.
Yep. And that includes setting actual measurable growth goals for these kinds of jobs across different industries.
How will they actually increase participation?
They'll use apprenticeship, intermediary contracts, and existing discretionary funds to work with industry groups and employers.
To do what?
A key goal is supporting the creation of industry-developed program standards that can be registered nationally.
So consistent standards across the country.
Right. That should make it easier for employers everywhere to adopt these apprenticeship programs, help scale them up.
Okay. What about using the big workforce programs already in place, like WIOA?
Yes, definitely. WIOA, the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. The Secretary of Labor will encourage states and grantees to use WIOA funding to develop AI skills and support work-based learning in AI fields. They'll issue guidance to state and local workforce boards on using youth formula funds for AI skills, clarify that governor set-aside funds can be used, and prioritize AI skills training in youth-focused grant programs.
So really weaving AI skills into the existing job training system, is there also a push for quality control, making sure the training is good?
Absolutely. The Secretary of Labor, working with the NSF director, will engage with workforce boards, industry, educators, training providers.
A lot of players.
Yeah. To identify and promote high-quality AI skills education and certifications nationwide. That includes looking for funding, setting performance targets for youth participation, and leveraging partnerships with industry and philanthropy.
And they're even looking at high schoolers getting started on this path earlier.
Yes. Within 120 days, Labor, working with Education and NSF, will give priority consideration for grants to folks developing or expanding AI courses and certifications specifically for high school students.
Like tech pathways in high school.
Exactly. And encouraging dual enrollment partnerships, so students could earn college credit and industry AI credentials while still in high school.
That sounds like a great way to smooth the transition from school to AI careers. Are they also looking at making AI a priority in existing scholarship programs?
Yes, within 120 days, federal agencies that give out educational grants need to consider AI as a priority area within their existing fellowship and scholarship for service programs.
If it fits the program's goals.
Right, wherever it aligns with the law and the program's objectives. But it's another way to nudge students towards AI fields.
It really does feel like a very comprehensive strategy, touching everything from K-12, higher ed, workforce. Now, with these kinds of government orders, there are usually some caveats, right? General provisions.
Yes, a few standard but important ones. First, the order states it doesn't overreach the existing authority of any government departments or agencies or OMB.
Okay, standard stuff.
Second, everything depends on applicable law and, crucially, the availability of appropriations. Money has to be there.
Right, no blank checks.
Exactly. And maybe most importantly for individuals, the order explicitly says it doesn't create any legally enforceable rights or benefits against the government or anyone else.
So it sets the direction, creates the framework, but its real teeth depend on implementation and funding.
That's a perfect way to put it. The order points the ship, puts the mechanisms in place, but the actual journey depends on the actions and investments that come next.
Okay, so let's rack this up. What are the key takeaways for you from this deep dive into the White House AI Education Initiative?
Well, I think the big thing is that this is a really significant, coordinated, government-wide push.
Yeah, multi-agency.
Right. To embed AI education at every level, from early school right through workforce development. There's a clear recognition that AI literacy isn't just nice to have, it's becoming fundamental.
And it's not just teaching about AI.
No, big focus on educators too, making sure they're prepared to teach it and also use it as a tool themselves.
And the main mechanisms for making this happen, the key pieces.
You've got the task force doing the coordinating, the presidential AI challenge to generate excitement and innovation, those public-private partnerships for creating resources, the targeted use of existing grant money for AI, and the push for AI apprenticeships to build that skilled workforce.
So a lot of moving parts, all aimed in the same direction. Now, for you listening, why pay attention to all this? Why does it matter?
Well, these initiatives could really reshape the job market down the line, the skills that are in demand.
Yeah, the future of work.
Exactly. So understanding these trends is pretty critical for anyone interested in tech, education, the economy, whether you're a student, a parent, a teacher, or someone already working who wants to stay relevant. The direction laid out here is likely to impact your opportunities and just the general landscape of innovation.
Absolutely. It's about getting ready for a future that's arriving incredibly fast.
Yeah.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. With this big push for widespread AI literacy, what other changes might we see? Beyond jobs, what new dynamics might pop up in communities in our economy as more people just get AI?
That's interesting. Like civic engagement, innovation in unexpected places.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What responsibilities come with a more AI-savvy population? How might it shape things in ways we haven't even thought of yet? It's more than just workforce readiness, isn't it? It's about the kind of society we build.
Definitely something to chew on.